work smarter than harder. Let's talk about FortiAI Assist. Remember, 3 buckets. I'm going to just walk through initially FortiAI Assist with the Fortinet SOC platform, okay? Then my colleague will walk through the FortiAI Assist for the NOC and how we secure AI, okay? When it comes to FortiAI Assist, this is embedded throughout our entire platform, right? So if I'm going in, I'm logging into our SOC platform, this can pop up as, within any window I'm in, with any view, with any dashboard. It's going to leverage all of the telemetry and capabilities of that platform to help assist and augment speeding specifically my threat analysis, alert triage, investigation, and response. I'm gonna go a little bit deeper to talk about like what we're seeing customers care about most when it comes to the SOC and FortiAI Assist. They have more work to go around than people, and they're just beat. Especially, I mean, you might not even have a SOC, right? You're probably managing both IT and security. You're wearing multiple hats. That's so much knowledge that you have to have on any given day, especially across different technologies and practices and so on and so forth. So I want to be able to automate all the things that I can loosen up my workload with and help me focus on really the more advanced stuff that I can apply my skill set to. That's what customers are telling us first. Then how can I speed my process, especially around alert triage and investigations? That's one of the most common kind of kickoff that we're seeing, because why? They're flooded with tons of alerts. The caveat here is they say, hey, Max, we don't want to add AI that's going to disrupt our day-to-day operations. Don't give me another headache. Make it as seamless and integrated as possible. So, to give you a quick overview of the use case, and again, we do have some demos that are about to coming up, and we're short on time, so I don't want to take up too much more. But I just want to give you a quick idea. Alert triage. As an analyst, I have thousands of alerts coming in, and sometimes it's much more than just 1,000, but thousands and thousands, and I have to determine what is a true potential threat, what might be correlated with that alert, and then continue to triage and figure out, okay, what assets have been impacted, what indicator are compromised, I have to, are associated, I have to enrich that information, validate it, and so on. That's tough. That's really tough. That's a needle in a haystack. You're gonna get a ton of alerts that are nonsense, that are meaningless, and take you on a wild goose chase. So as an analyst, I want to simplify that as much as possible and cut through the noise. And so I'm using FortiAI Assist within our SOC platform to help me prioritize that. I literally can, whether it's voice to text, type to text, hey, I'm starting my shift, what were the high priority alerts that my team had been working on, or incidents, either or, that my team had been working on before I started. It will pull from across that platform and populate that in the chat, or I can say, hey, what are the biggest threats we're facing right now, right? From there, it will start leveraging the telemetry and threat intelligence and all those components and capabilities of the platform to then surface, hey, here's the high risk alerts. And not just that, but in fact, we found a few things you should prioritize. We've enriched some indicator of compromise because we found a compromised host. This is the most critical one. And again, here's what's been impacted. This is where it came from, and the endpoint that has been potentially compromised.
So behind the scenes, this Calvin Hendricks Parker was 6 feet up. Behind the scenes, are you using some agentic like tool calling to allow for some kind of determinism, or you've got some pre-canned reports that we're calling under the covers to make that magic happen?
So when it comes to on the report side, it's leveraging. So for instance, what we're looking at here, because I just switched slides and it has a report on it conveniently, within FortiAnalyzer, which is part of our SOC platform. it has comprehensive reporting. So it actually will grab from those reports, will grab from those widgets, will literally leverage the product as well. And then can you remind me the first half of your question?
But just to be, because LLMs and generative AI being non-deterministic, I assume you're using some kind of tools or tool calling to query the data. And so you've got like pre-canned functions that you're calling to get to these kind of things, or are you relying on generative AI to somehow pick out and prioritize?
Yes, so we do have some pre-canned elements, but it's also leveraging like the platform faster than the human could, right? So it would be leveraging, are you familiar with a SIM, for instance?
No.
Okay, a SIM tool.
Security event.
Oh, okay, yes, okay, that. Okay.
And
That's
then
kind of my main question, I think.
And then on top of that, it will leverage like the capabilities of the technology that the AI is layered on top of.
Yeah, so similar question, but then more specific. So once you figure it out, there is an issue. Can you, for example, is there a tool that basically says, well, in this particular category, I'm going to shut down the ports, or I'm going to slow down traffic, or completely shut down traffic until an analyst had the ability to look at it?
Yeah, and this particular example here shows, hey, I identified this compromised host, this endpoint. It's bad, is associated with an IOC. And let's just say I'm a junior analyst too. Make it easy. I can quarantine the endpoint. Now, what's happening is that it's leveraging, for instance, within the SOC platform, we have playbooks, pre-built playbooks, for instance, that will quarantine an endpoint. So it will automatically then execute those playbooks or that playbook to then quarantine that endpoint, right? Take it off. And then, even better, I can say, create an incident and an incident report, providing all the information. So I can use it for an incident handoff to someone more senior than me as a junior analyst, or attaching that report because maybe we need to do a forensics analysis. Maybe we have an audit later on, and it will attach to that incident and have a full timeline from the second it was identified and every touch point since, including quarantining the endpoint. Now, we are tight on time. We will expand on the agentic AI, but we are certainly part of our focus is agentic AI. How can we make our customers' lives easier, and where? We don't believe in having just this incredibly everything's autonomous. I don't have to do anything. I can just set it and forget it for my entire security stack. That's not quite there in the world of AI yet. But what is there is I can do that with goals and goal-oriented processes. So the process that I walked through just before in the last two slides, detecting, validating, and stopping the spread by containing, that alert triage process investigation, I can pass off to FortiAI Assist reasoning agent, which will do that entire process without me having to step in. It does keep a human in the loop, right? It will give me these options. It's kind of hard for you to see from all the way over there, but it will give me some different options. Do I want to quarantine? Do I want this to email to execs? But at this point, it's already gone through and understood, okay, I found this brute force attempt. I found and enriched these different indicator compromise. I found these alerts that are linked, have a common link. I've done all of that process and executed these queries and so on and so forth. And so we're at that stage right now where it's going to help around reasoning, especially these different multi-campaign attacks where I could just use that error support, right? I could use that, especially even if it's just focusing on brute force attacks, let's say. As an analyst, I could use that breathing room. With that said, we've gone over a little bit. So I do appreciate all the questions. I'll be here to comment a little bit more, but I'd love for my colleague, Maggie Wu, to take over and talk a little bit about FortiAI Assist for the NOC. Here you go.
Thank you so much, Max.
Thank you.
And great opening session for introduce FortiAI, FortiAI Protect, FortiAI Secure, and FortiAI Assist. So my name is Maggie Wu. I'm the Director of Product Marketing at Fortinet. And I thank you for attending our sessions, and thank you for all the audience dialing online as well. I'm going to carry on the torch on FortiAI Assist. Max talked about the SOC side of things, and I'm going to cover the NOC side of things, the network operation. And then I'll keep going on FortiAI Secure AI. So on the NOC side, this is also work smarter matters more than work harder. So in the world of network operation, you feel, the network admins are always overwhelmed, right? They have tons of network alarms to do each day. And how can AI help, right? So this is where AI Assist coming and doing the heavy lifting for you. So basically, the smarter means I can connect the dot. The AI can connect the dot instantly. I can speak your language. You don't need to speak code. And I can be predictive rather than reacting. And I can do automatic fix if you desire to. And that will save you, the network admin, a lot of time and reduce a lot of repetitive work. So that's what smart for.
So maybe this is more of a statement, and I'd love to see you react to this through your presentation. I'm Scott Robon. I'm very, very interested in a unified view of security operations and network operations. If you can speak to your ability to ingest network alerting and telemetry and security, SIM alerting and telemetry, and bring those views together, I would love to hear that story.
Wonderful. Yeah, I think that's one of actually you hit sweet on the Fortinet strengths, which is we are building a converged network where the networking and security are on the same fabric and same platform. That's where when we deploy AI, we're able to leverage that in this integrated platform. Okay, so same things about NOC. Which customer, what customer cares? We ask our customers, and it's very predictable what they want the FortiAI Assist do for them. It boils down to their day-to-day operation. From day one, they want it to be deployed faster. They want FortiAI to help them deploy their network, provision network faster than currently they do. And the second thing is when they keep the network up, they want to keep it running. So on the day two type of operation, they want to monitor the network, they want to troubleshoot, and they want to fix with the help of AI. The last thing is on the ongoing base, they want AI to be more advanced to help them optimize the network on their own, meaning that they help self-healing and do a lot of these automatic workflows. So these three buckets reflect what the customer desire for FortiAI. And believe or not, I think most of the business, when they run their network operation, they are taking effort to get smarter. It's not that we just started with Gen AI. So if you look back, like 30 years ago, everything is manual. Think about the old days when you deploy one device at a time, you change one network policy at a time. That's really manual, and that's very time consuming. And moving to about 15, 20 years ago, the rule-based scripting comes out, and it helps a lot of people, but only the programmers who can code. And they're limited on automation capabilities, and it saves a lot of time, but they are limited in the scope and things.
To what degree, hi, Guy Courier, Future. Yeah. I think a lot of organizations, especially larger ones, use blended models. So they use services like a Fortinet's NOC or SOC, as well as one of their own, maybe a few that they put together. To what degree is this your own Fortinet journey, customer journey, or in what way are they blended? This particular journey towards being smarter.
Okay, so of course, Fortinet, can manage its own like ecosystem environment, but we realize, majority of the customers, right, 80% of the customers are in the multi-vendor environment. So nobody's in single vendor. So when we build our AI, we keep that in mind. We keep our partners in mind. We keep our open system in mind. So when we collaborate, we actually already do with, like 500 ecosystem partners with their tools. So on the operation and network operation side, we already have these workflow end-to-end integration with them. So moving forward, I think the vision is that our AI will collaborate with our partner's AI to make that multi-vendor ecosystem work more efficiently.
I would expect that because it's your business, you are farther to the right on this diagram than most.
Yeah. So we definitely are, and we're also, kind of partnership with some leading providers in the network management field on doing that.
Just from Ivan McPhee from Google, just from a Fortinet versus a multi-vendor environment, what is the delta between the two?
From our customer?
From how you can operate within a Fortinet environment versus a multi-vendor environment.
How we operate?
How you can. So therefore, obviously you have certain capabilities that apply to a Fortinet environment only, but don't apply to a multi-vendor environment. What's the delta?
If we operate in our environment, you can consider that 100, right? Because we can turn on all the capabilities it's built for that. For multi-vendor, I don't know how I can come up with exact percentage of delta, but I would say because our APIs are quite comprehensive, so I suspect for our partners, they can take in, majority of the capabilities, like 80, 90% is there for the customer to leverage.
And just to expand a little bit on that. Another couple delta components. One would be the interoperability with the platform, because we really have deep native integration, not just with the AI into our security fabric, into our platform, but also across these products, right? So, oops, that's not good, spilled on myself. But so across these products, and that interoperability, when you look at like a multi-vendor environment, a big problem can occur for them in the sense that, the technologies don't like to work together as well, right? So I have to now jump in and out of all these different tools. They're not working well together. It makes it really difficult to automate across them for a lot of organizations. It requires more resources. So, I mean, we can operate in both environments. They're going to get the majority of the capabilities, but in terms of the true delta, it's that native integration across the board is pretty big, pretty up there.
And then who is responsible? Is it the third parties who are responsible for actually using the APIs and develop integration, or does Fortinet actually develop integration for all those third parties? Because we're talking about security here, right?
Yes.
Both.
So we have our ecosystem of fabric ready partners and technology partners that we work very closely with, and together we build them out. Now, there's also, we have to certify, of course, right? Then there's vendors that will also build their own. There's also customers. For instance, we have a product where you can build out a connector and as many automation actions as you'd like, or you can go into an existing connector that we've certified, right? That integration we've built, and I want to add a couple more automation actions to it. Yeah. So as a customer, I can go do that as well. So it's a little bit of a blend, but to give you a picture.
Yeah. To summarize what Max just said, we the leading integrator with a partner, if we do, and also some third parties lead the development, so they build. We provide all the libraries of APIs, and the third part is we have a community of developers, and they build based on the library of APIs that we provide.
I also can illustrate a little bit more in detail on this part during my presentation later as well. Okay.
Okay, so come to the exciting part of the use cases. So I'll show you FortiAI Assist in our NOC platform. So the first one is day one. You figured is the deployment, is the turning up the service. So what FortiAI Assist can do over here is you basically say, example, you have a SD-WAN network that you want to deploy, and then you probably only know your network topology, and you probably only have a hand drawing topology map that you can reference to, which your IP address, your port configuration, etc. And then you upload your handwriting image to our FortiAI Assist in the NOC platform, and our FortiAI Assist can turn out and create the configuration script for you. So that's one part, quickly helping you with the configuration script. What if you have existing ones, right? FortiAI Assist can help you validate your existing script and point out where you have conflict, where you should edit your scripts on. And it's all one click away from execution. So that's one part on day one. This helps the development. Now, in day two, this is more about troubleshooting and fix things, right? So on same platform with our NOC platform, you bring up FortiAI Assist, and you ask it to check your network health for you, like VPNs and tunnels and etc. So what FortiAI does is it helps you zoom into the VPN issue area or the Wi-Fi issue area, and then not only identify where it's down, but what's the reason it's down. And one more step further, it can recommend the fix for you, right? So this is where the man-in-the-middle approach comes in. Every time it gives you recommendations for a fix, it always asks you to confirm whether you want the FortiAI Assist to execute that the remediation for you. If you confirm, you're building that trust, FortiAI Assist will automatically bring up the install wizard and let you see the fix in progress. So this is.
So you use the word or the term helps you. So when you do that, are you actually running these automatically behind the scenes constantly on your network and then coming up with these opportunities to fix stuff and then only involving you, or is it something that you've got to trigger each time to run?
Okay, so in this example, you ask, like you initiate, right? It's not in the background, but in the next slide, I will show you, we can do it your way and the way you mentioned. So this is more about network optimization, auto adapts, and kind of predict things and proactively doing things. This is where we have multiple tools to work together. Not only our NOC side, but our AI ops, right? So the AI ops and what Max talked about, the SOC side of things, feeding the information about the network performance, the network insights, the threat analytics, the telemetry data, all into this network operations center. And the good part of it is it's doing the baselining of your environment, and it does the trend analysis. So anytime you find a derail from your normal standard saying, your Wi-Fi performance is below the threshold, it automatically triggers the analysis and the investigation with a playbook of things to check. And once it checks and finds issues like, oh, you have channel overlapping issues, or you have too many clients jammed up on one channel, it will propose remediation and fix for you. And you can, same thing, you can execute when you confirm the recommendation.
Hi there, it's Malcolm Boudin from MMB Networks. Quick question on this, because this looks automated. How does this fit into organizations' change management and change control processes, because making lots of automated changes continuously, if there's issues, whether it's initiated by, a NOC technician or whether it's done automatically, it would normally have to go through change control to make network changes. So how does that fit into the process?
Yeah, I think you're raising a very good question about all these might change the organization's NOC management process, which is true. That's why this is what we see from our customers' more advanced stage. I think not every customers are ready to jump into this stage. I think in order for them to do so, they do have to have a very well-defined process and governance in order to go to this. And I also feel like the trust of these AI capabilities are meant to be built and tested and validated along the way. Not all customers are comfortable, just directly using your tool live in their production environment. Yeah. So there's going to be a lot of back and forth.
Yeah. Is it possible to generate, like, for example, a change in a rollback based on the suggested actions from FortiAI Assist? So, for example, you could generate a implementation plan or change plan, take it to the change advisory board meeting, say this is what we're going to do, and then once you get the approval, you effectively execute the change. Is that a valid approach?
Yes, I do believe so. Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, that crawl, walk, run mentality is often very helpful, right? Mm-hmm. So do you have a staged, do you allow the, we call it human in the loop. I like to say the click OK to continue loop. Do you offer that option to let people gain trust in the automations first? It would be great if we could see that.
Yeah. So we actually can allow you to see that if you guys are interested. We go to our demo center. We do have a read-only demo that you can try experiment with our FortiAI Assist.